So Kevin Willard, still the head coach of the University of Maryland. We have our poll of the day. Do you want him to be the head coach moving forward after all the drama this past week? Cake seems to be leaning towards no. I'll say this. I think he can save it by just saying, if he was humble and he's like, you know what? I maybe botched all this media stuff. I should have kept my mouth shut, but I just want the best for Maryland, and I want to stay at Maryland. I want to build Maryland to a national championship team. I want to go to many Sweet 16s and go beyond. I think he could recover.
He just seems like a hard guy to trust at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe he just doesn't think before he speaks.
I always feel like he's going to be flirting with whoever the next available, attractive opening is going to be.
Yeah,
while he's here.
Well, I mean, he's also, unless he's going to resign and re-up the Maryland job, he's also putting Maryland in a tough spot because Maryland is waiting. If Maryland wants to replace Kevin Willard, well, they've got to have a couple of names, and maybe behind the scenes they're talking to somebody.
Yeah,
we've heard the crazy names, but it's just his comments are just a mystery to me.
And I don't know if I like this response from him. This is from John Rothstein, who joined us yesterday. Kevin Willard, this is from 8 hours ago, when asked if he looked back on the last week and felt he should have handled things differently. His quote, "Nope, not at all."
He needs some media training. But he did say this.
Media training, he's been a coach in big time hoops for 20 years. He needs more media training at this point. Guys in his almost 50.
He did say this last week, which started it all after they beat Grand Canyon. He said, I want this program to be great. I want it to be the best in the country. I want to win a national championship, but there's things that need to change.
Mm-hmm.
If he just focused on the first part and just hit that over and over again, look, I'm trying to win a national championship here. I'm fighting for everything I can so that I can win a national championship. Then I think you can get the fan base back. He's bungled it for sure. But there are a lot of people that are fed up and want him gone. If you want to chime in, 800-636-1067. I haven't checked the poll recently. Let's see what the poll is at. It was at like 72% say bye-bye.
Mm-hmm. And it'll probably go higher. But we kind of ran the audio earlier in the show. And Mad Max, I don't know if you want to get some of those clips up again, but the fact that he says after the game that he just doesn't know what he wants to do, he hasn't talked to his agent, he hasn't talked to his wife. There's no one on the planet that believes that, and this is what it sounded like last night.
So I have not even no, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just be honest with you. I haven't talked to my agent. I haven't talked to my wife. I made a promise to this team that I was gonna just focus on this team, and that's all I've done. So I haven't talked to anybody. I have an agent. I'm sure he's talking to people because that's what agents like to do. But, I don't know.
I mean, maybe he didn't talk to his wife yesterday, but
right.
The fact that he claims he hasn't talked to his wife about this, no one believes that.
And his awareness about the agent, too.
Yeah.
There's definitely texts. You may be somewhat focusing on the game plan and that stuff, but you're paying some attention. Jason, do you want him back at the University of Maryland?
Well, look,
you didn't go to Maryland.
I'm not a huge Maryland fan. I think this has been a great story for sports radio.
Oh, absolutely.
This has been a great story for us.
It's been pretty tasty.
And if it lingers into next week, it's a great story for us. If I was a Maryland fan, I would probably, kind of depending on who they were looking to replace him with. Okay.
Yeah.
We've heard some of the names out there. But are you going to get better than Kevin Willard? Kevin Willard's a damn good coach, X's and O's wise. But maybe from what's happened in the past 4 days, you're just fed up with it and you're willing to take a chance on somebody else. If I was a Maryland fan after the way he's handled this, I'd probably say no.
So Max has pulled some audio too. This is Willard 3 years ago after an NCAA tournament loss in his last game at Seton Hall, after he had quietly taken the Maryland job. Here's Willard from 3 years ago.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Kevin, there's been a lot of rumors in the last day or so of you potentially going to Maryland. Do you want to kind of comment on whether that's accurate or not?
I'll give you exactly what I can tell you. I have an agent. who I haven't talked to yet. I don't know who he's talking to. I have absolutely no idea. But when I get home tomorrow, I'll talk to my agent and discuss things with my agent.
So he's just lying.
I mean,
That's a outright lie,
Yeah.
bold face.
He's on brand.
There's just no way you can believe any of that. But I don't know, man. Someone is claiming that, and I'm not going to.
You have a new source, new intel.
No, we've already kind of talked about it. That
Okay.
Buzz Williams is going to be the next head coach at University of Maryland. Right? He says he's got sources.
Mm-hmm.
His buddy is like an assistant coach at A&M.
Let me guess. He saw him at BWI Airport or at Reagan National in the last day or so.
Right. He says that his buddy's nephew's an assistant at A&M, and he's been asked to come with Buzz Williams to the University of Maryland. I don't believe that for a second. If Buzz Williams is announced as the next head coach, I'll go on and say, I was 100% wrong. This guy was 100% right.
Will you shave your head
No.
if Buzz Williams is
No, I
the
won't
next
do that.
coach in College Park?
I won't do that.
I mean, you never
But-
know. Like there was a rumor about Kirk Cousins, and we'll see what happens with the Cleveland Browns because he was seen at a Chipotle in Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Chick Hernandez, who we love. I love Chick.
Yeah.
Great dude. He put out on WUSA9.com yesterday that John Calipari was a candidate. Does anybody believe
That he-
John Calipari would leave Arkansas to come to College
He's
Park?
already making $8 million a year. He's the highest paid coach.
So people
second highest
people
paid.
are just throwing names at the wall, and I just, who knows who Maryland's talking to, but this Willard thing is just crazy.
I'm a little on the fence with Willard. I think he could get back in good graces with Maryland fans. I think he could.
Maybe. I mean, there were definitely chants breaking out at some of the College Park
No doubt
watering
about
holes
it.
last night when Willard was on the screen. The students were chanting "F you, Willard," like really loud, throwing the double-barreled middle finger up at him. Like it's gonna take some time for these feelings to kind of die down.
Do you
from the
think it's
fan base.
unrecoverable though? See, I still think it's recoverable.
I don't know if it's irrecoverable or not, but he has not ingratiated himself to the fan base by the way he's acted.
Like
over the
if he
last
stayed
week.
and then he explained, look, I just wanted what was best for the program.
Yeah.
And I got the NIL money. I got the percentage of revenue that I wanted. So now we're bringing in these players to replace Stair Queen and Reese, because that's the game is replacing your guys now. It's getting to the portal and replacing the guys that are leaving, right?
Yeah.
So if he's able to sell the fan base, including myself, on, hey, football was getting all the money. Football sucks. Basketball, under me, we're pretty good. Made the Sweet 16. But in order to get this sharpshooter from Pepperdine, I needed $1.5 million. In order to get this bruising rebounder from Texas A&M, I needed $2 million, and I got him. Then he delivers wins, Cakes. You know this. If you deliver wins,
Of course, that
you're going to be fine.
But-
well, I think it's recoverable just because time heals all wounds, and over time, people will forget it if he stays, especially if he gets his team back to the tournament.
Right.
Right now, I understand why 75% want him gone, because he just hasn't handled it right, and he hasn't been honest.
All right, let's go to the phones. 800-636-1067. Your opinions on what's going on here at Maryland. They lose to Florida in the Sweet 16, and they may lose their coach to Villanova.
All right, let's go to Matt. He's listening in D.C. Matt, you're on with the Junkies. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Unfortunately, what I was just about to say is exactly what JP and Bish just said. First, winning is the perfect deodorant. So if he comes back and he's winning, people are going to take the middle finger and turn it into a thumbs up. In addition, he is saying the right things about Maryland needing to invest in its basketball program to compete at the highest levels. They were a number 4 seed for a reason. Florida was a number 1 seed for a reason. They need to invest more in name, image, likeness. They need to work the portal the way you were saying. And ultimately, what fans are upset about is not that those things are true. It's that he said them, and we feel jilted and we feel hurt feelings like, oh, they're going to leave us for somebody else. No, if he stays and he does those things, he's going to be our new BFF moving forward.
So are you okay with him coming back?
Sure.
You're okay with that?
If
Okay.
He took us to a Final Four. Well, I mean, to a Sweet 16. I think he can take us to a Final Four if he gets the investments that are needed to win in today's NCAA basketball programs.
But you don't believe anything he says, right? When he says he hasn't talked to his agent, he hasn't talked to his wife.
No, I don't.
Yeah, no one believes that.
Wait, is he a coach speaking at a press conference?
Right.
Yeah, I don't believe him.
Very non-believable.
Anything a coach says at a press conference, I don't believe.
And look,
that's smart.
maybe he hasn't
Thanks,
officially linked up with Villanova because he's not hearing the right things from Villanova yet. I don't know. I don't know what they're offering. No idea. You would think Villanova would be willing. They're a basketball school. They're not a football school. You would think that Villanova would give him what he wants going forward for the revenue share, but I have no idea what they're offering. It's just baffling that, it's the next day. They're getting on a plane soon to come back east, and he hasn't made a decision yet.
Let's go to Mike in Ashburn. Mike, you're on with the Junks. Good morning.
What's up, boys? What's up, Bish?
Hey, Mike.
It's your Mikey.
Hey, Mikey C, what's up?
What's up? So I'm totally neutral guy here. I'm a Duke fan, and I think that the Maryland fans are being a bunch of wimps, let's just say. And I think this guy has brought Maryland back to a point as far as Maryland basketball goes. I think he's tried to do it behind the scenes with the administration, telling him what he needs and what he has to have to get to the next level. And if they're not going to give it to him, then he goes public to let people know that he wants to be here, but he's not getting what he needs to get. And, I mean, it's frustrating for him, I'm sure, because you want to be one of the better teams, but it is the way of college basketball now. And, Duke lost a friend of my family's Roach to Oregon because they gave him $600,000.
To Baylor,
you got to decide where you want to spend your money at. And I don't know what he's doing so wrong besides telling them the truth. And does he maybe deserve a little bit more money since going to Sweet 16? Yeah, because look what they were before he got there. They were garbage.
Well,
they weren't garbage.
They weren't garbage. I mean, Mark Turgeon was good. They were good. They had Sweet 16 runs with Mark Turgeon. Thanks for the call, Mike. Anyway, I just don't. I don't have a problem with him if he keeps all of that private. But to come out and say, I need more money for my program. The AD's not doing it. He needs to go. I'm glad he's going. And then to come back and say, man, I don't know what to do because the guy that I didn't want working here was a really good friend of mine, and now he's gone, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what the direction is. And then to say, I haven't talked to my agent and I haven't talked to my wife, he's just going about it the wrong way.
He's just all over the place.
I would respect him more if he said, you know what, guys, I'll talk to you about it when I make a decision.
Right.
I can't say anything right now. But to come out and spew all this nonsense,
just go up there and say, I'm absorbing this loss.
It's nonsense.
It hurts me and the team. Yeah, I'll inform you of my future decisions when we land in College Park. Let me just fly back with my team, process things, and I'll give you more details later.
I do think he can recover from this, though. And Maryland may be in a situation where their best move is to give him everything he wants and keep him. Because are you going to find a better coach? Probably not, especially not at this point.
Yeah, but then that goes back to who's making that call right now. Like just interim AD, just some random face in the athletic department.
I guarantee you Gary Williams is involved in this.
I'm sure he is.
No, he's
I'm
not.
Sure, he's a part of it.
He's not probably the sole guy that's making decisions, but he's probably in a small group of people that's making decisions. But Gary is definitely involved.
I would think he definitely has some input.
Now, I don't know if that means Gary is saying we can't give you what you want,
right?
Or if Gary's saying, yeah, we can give you what you want, but the president doesn't want to agree to that. I don't know how that works.
Cakes and Valdez wanted him on the sideline yesterday.
Oh, it would have been so great.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
That would have been such a great moment had it happened.
But I said on the show yesterday, I said, Willard's decision will be made after the loss.
Right.
If they had won, maybe not. But after the loss, I felt like he would have made the decision.
But it might just be a situation where he's staying.
Well, then announce it. To ease the minds of Maryland fans.
Will we
announce
know by the time the show is over today?
Probably not.
Will there be an announcement before that?
Probably not.
Yeah, because they're probably en route back east.
He's not even on a plane yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're still in the hotel room in San Francisco.
I don't know their travel itinerary.
It's 4:17 out there. He's probably sleeping right now.
Right.
What if he's setting up a flight to Philadelphia?
A private, a PJ?
He's heading to Philly for a presser.
Well, then that's pretty telling if that's the case.
Because to me, it's telling that Villanova's been waiting all along. They're kind of playing the Aaron Rodgers game, right? Because Villanova or the Steelers game.
Didn't Randy
really?
Edsall do that bit back in the day when he took UConn to, I think it was the Fiesta Bowl.
He took him to a big bowl, yeah.
And they played, I think it was Oklahoma. I could be wrong on that. And then he didn't even fly back with the team to Connecticut. He flew right to Maryland. Right to College Park.
Yeah.
Well, not the College Park Airport, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Flew to D.C.
Flew to take the Maryland job.
Correct.
We'll see if history repeats itself here with Willard.
Man, though, listening to him 3 years ago and then listening to him last night, same message.
Seems pretty on brand for him.
Like also, you mentioned Villanova. I don't mean to defend at Villanova, but Villanova needs to make a decision too.
Right.
I mean, they need to hire a head coach. That coach needs to hire a staff. They need to go into the portal. They've got to start plucking guys. They got to make decisions. So Maryland needs to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Maryland needs to, if Willard's going to stay, all right, let's go start getting portal acquisitions. But how much money do we have to keep guys?
If Willard leaves, Maryland's going to be the kid playing musical chairs and all the chairs are taken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's left? What do you do at that point?
If what now? I'm sorry.
If Willard departs, then who takes over? You just go with an interim?
Some people think Buzz Williams is coming.
Okay.
Some people think Calipari's coming.
Well, I know that's not happening.
Yeah, I'll hit my head on the wall if Calipari takes the job.
Could be Simpkins.
I mean, I
former
guess,
Terp,
sure.
had success.
I love Simp.
That could be an option.
I think Simp certainly should be on a short list of candidates. Maybe Maryland feels like he's a little too green. He's only been a head coach a couple years, but I think he would be a great coach.
Whoever's running things over the AD at College Park, the interim, they better have a list.
Right.
They better have a list with 3 to 5 names on it at least.
800-636-1067. What do you think happens in Maryland, and what do you want to happen at the University of Maryland? Do you even want Kevin Willard to be back as the head coach? We'll take more of your calls next here on the Junkies.